we're gonna go ahead and call this meeting to order. We definitely have enough to establish a quorum, but we'll go ahead and do a roll call, by going around the table, say your name, and that you're here, please.
Deborah here. Nancy here.
Charles here.
Kim here.
Jennifer here.
Cheryl Gal here.
I'm sorry.
Maynard, site town attorney.
And Jennifer Campbell, Mayor here. All right, we have an agenda before us, need to be approved. Is there anything to add to it? Okay, I would like to add under business, VML, Virginia Municipal League Training. We will get to that, but if we could add that, please. We can do that, after the planning commission request, if you're okay with that.
VML.
VML training, yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, is there an approval, for the agenda?
Make a motion, we approve the agenda with the, addition of the BML training.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries. To review, first up is to review our, March 12th town council minutes. I do have some changes that I wrote in red if you would like my copy afterwards or during, but,
Changes have to be, with the group.
oh yeah, no, I need to give you
Okay.
my physical copy, so you can copy it down. Starting with, the opening, third paragraph, I went back and I listened to my recording, and, Kim had not tried to move to approve the agenda before I had discussed or shared anything, regarding, that statement that I had opened with. There was no interruption from my welcome to that statement, so I'd like to strike that.
So you're taking out what now? That entire
this-
paragraph?
No, the sentence, Kim Humphrey moved to approve the agenda, strike that. And
Okay.
that the discussion interrupted, I did not interrupt anything from the agenda discussion, that needs to be striked. And just rephrase it as the handout or the printed statement was presented to the town administrator, for a copy of the meeting minutes. Also, I don't see a copy of that statement in the minutes.
You do have it to pass out here.
Okay. And then, there are no comments. And in that last paragraph on that topic, we can just go ahead and say you moved on and requested the discussion and approval of the agenda, but there was, Cheryl had made a change to the agenda from vice chair to vice mayor. And then we moved into, those motions.
Approve the agenda as amended.
Yes.
This, this one right here.
Thank you, minutes.
Thank you.
Wait a minute.
Here you go.
So the move to approve it, you want it shown later,
No,
after your statement was made?
where are you at? It's easier for me just to walk through my notes here. So this.
Yeah, you're sure.
Yeah.
That's what I was wondering.
Is this coming out tonight, or is this what came out last?
This is part of this last meeting, this is what she read.
If you all understand, I'm happy just to give Jennifer and, well, I guess you have to understand it, but.
Why don't you read each change?
Sure.
again?
Alright, so.
For each change you're asking.
Okay, so the first that opens this up is Mayor Jennifer Campbell called the meeting to order at 6 p.m. In that paragraph, the last sentence needs to be striked. Kim Humphrey moved to approve the agenda. That needs to be removed. The next paragraph, the agenda discussion was interrupted by Mayor Campbell reading a statement. That needs to be removed because there was no interruption.
Okay, if you take that out, and that suits me fine.
Okay,
that sentence alone doesn't tell me a whole lot if I were reviewing minutes. Should there be some content in there as to what that letter was prior to the approval of the agenda?
Sure, so, I would like it to read, skip down to the next paragraph. Mayor Campbell read a formal statement for the record citing her concern that meeting materials were not provided 3 working days in advance as mandated by Virginia Code 2.2-3707. And here I would interrupt and put the printed statement was presented to town administrator, as a copy for the meeting minutes. The full written statement is attached and incorporated into these minutes by reference. There were no comments from council members. Mayor Campbell requested any discussion and approval of the agenda. Cheryl made a change to the agenda from vice chair to vice mayor, and then scratch the sentence next to the agenda, discussion resumed, and then carry on with the remaining of that paragraph. Kim Pumphrey moved to approve the agenda as amended. Deborah Bryan seconded. Mayor Campbell asked for the comments or discussions. Hearing none, Mayor Campbell called for a roll call, and the council voted as follows.
Now, I'm gonna ask Cheryl and Jen, these changes, what I'm looking at is what I thought happened. How accurate are your changes?
I can play the recording if you'd like.
Well, hold on for a second. Why are we recording a meeting, Jennifer? This is something we discussed a long time ago. We're not recording meetings.
No, this council may not record meetings, but I am for my record. And that is completely lawful. Anyone is allowed to record.
In an open session, but not in
Not
a
a
closed
closed
session. So if you started at the beginning and we have a closed session and you never touch your phone the whole time, that just tells you that it's being recorded the whole exact time that we're here, which I have brought up multiple times and say there is an issue with.
At this time, I'm trying to correct this.
Play the recording.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to
Let's
follow
hear it.
the edits, and I just
that-
didn't follow the one about the, agenda motion. So there were no comments from council members, and the next paragraph,
Would read a printed,
I got that part.
next agenda, okay. Mayor requested any discussion and approval of agenda.
So mayor requested discussion and approval of agenda,
Mhm.
okay.
Cheryl made change to the agenda, 'cause there was one change, which you two discussed, from vice chair to vice mayor.
That was minor, so I don't think that needs to be captured.
That's fine, I just, as I was listening to the
So
recording.
Kim moved to approve the agenda
Agenda
as
as
amended,
amended.
is already there, okay.
And it carries on,
Yeah.
that's all.
No, it was to me.
No, that was to her.
Okay,
This is
that's
what,
the
this
one I
is right
just
here,
did.
Nancy.
She read this out loud to
Yes,
us.
this is-
Yeah.
I mean, it's up to council, if they wish, you can try to, adopt them as amended now, or you can have them amended and brought back next meeting. So you can see the changes, so we always have that option.
Okay, those are my changes, everything else looks wonderful, thank you.
I have one, my name is misspelled on the second page. And paragraph 1, 2, 3, 4. About the deputy town administrator discussion was held. This is DeBra.
Uh-huh. No, we did that.
Second page? Oh, there you go. Thank you.
Any further discussion?
Are we gonna listen to the minutes or have her send them to us so we can listen, or what are you doing?
Or do you want staff to just make the changes and bring them back?
Bring them back to the.
Okay.
So at this point, we're not approving the minutes,
We are not.
correct?
Correct. We'll make the motion to have the minutes amended with the changes and bring it back for the May meeting.
Well, I'm looking at the minutes, and I'll make a comment at this point. All the changes we made occurred with things happening prior to approving the agenda. I'm gonna recommend strongly that henceforth, that problem does not reoccur.
It's not supposed to.
In other words, you don't want any discussion of topics before
I
the agenda.
want call to order, get a quorum, and then approve the agenda and go forward thereafter.
That's fine.
Because this has created a problem that doesn't need to exist.
I mean, you always have the slot at the end of your agenda for new business.
Right,
And
right.
before
yeah.
the agenda's approved, we can always modify and add it in there before it's approved. So next time, I'll just add it in there.
Okay.
Okay, no worries.
Yeah, I mean,
That's,
you're adding,
that's
you
completely
might,
workable.
you amended the agenda tonight.
Mm-hmm. All right, so, this way I need a motion to, have the minutes, amended and then, reviewed next month. Can I get a motion, a second for that?
Wait, a minute, you gotta get a motion first.
A motion, sorry. I think Kim made
That's-
the
So
I
are
motion.
we
did, I did.
amending them like this? I guess I'm confused. Are
They're
we
mo- they're
amending
making a
them and
motion
then
For
deferring?
staff to amend the minutes and
And then
present them at the
defer,
next meeting.
yes, defer to May once the minutes, if you need to review what's written there,
We'll get a copy of it.
yeah, yeah. And then you bring it back to we'll bring it back to the meeting for approval.
So we're not gonna listen to them?
no, we are.
No,
You get-
that's not what they're saying. They're saying they are amending them, how she asked tonight, and bringing them back next month.
I'll be
That's
happy
right.
to play it for you either now or later.
No, we just need a copy of that, that's all.
Okay, thank you. All right, and then the change with Deborah. So we have, Kim, was that your motion? May I have a second, please?
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Deborah?
Aye.
Nancy?
No.
Charles?
Aye,
Kim?
Aye.
Majority rules, motion carries. Next on the agenda is our February financial statement.
Cheryl, you'll have to remind me, why didn't we approve this last time? There was something about it
Because
that,
I didn't have the financial statement, everything else is the same,
oh, okay.
nothing changed. Other than $10 came out of miscellaneous income and went to the notary.
Okay.
I did catch something, and Cheryl had emailed you this, on this Excel sheet, everybody, on the February and the March, I believe. I know February for sure, I'll verify March in a second. She had added the line for the DMV paper allowance, and if you look at the far end of that, I think it's just an honest mistake where they copied a line and inserted it, but, the fiscal year total, of course, is $697.35. But the budgeted line has an allocation of $86,000, and so it has skewed the total, for our budget and over under total column.
Wait a minute, where is this?
So if you're in this green
Oh,
column.
oh, I see it here. Yeah, I got it.
So it has nothing to do with the totals that
Right.
or
It's
for
just-
February or
Right,
anything
right,
in
it's
there.
just
Mhm.
over there.
Yeah,
Okay.
we just need to get that back to the 697.35.
And I'm just gonna mention for your all's clarity, make sure you always understand, this page with the statement of income and expenditures, and then the back is the balance statement, that's your financial report. The budget you're given as a guide to just track expenses is really not technically the financial report you're approving. This is just the tracking
Just this.
sheet.
Right.
It's extra.
Yeah, this is your financial report.
I make a motion, we accept the, February financial statement.
I second.
All right, all in favor, say aye. Deborah?
Aye.
Nancy?
Aye.
Charles? Kim?
Aye.
Motion carries. Financial, for February's financials are approved. Next is March financial statements.
Cheryl, do you have an updated one for us by any chance? And the reason I ask is, it has one of the CDs was matured before the end of March.
No, that didn't mature till April.
Oh, it says 3/24.
No, wait a minute.
That was the one you did,
Yeah,
that we had
already
talked about.
Yeah.
approved with
No.
where we would place it.
Hold on, Deborah. Oh, no, I don't know why I thought it was in April. So the only difference is, it's 30,000 and I can fix it, but the number, so you have it, is 30,000. $30,016.52.
And was that, automatically rolled over, or what's the standing on that account?
That was, y'all had asked that I send it to the board to get everybody's comment on it, and Deborah was the only one who responded to it. I rolled it over at 3.85% yield for 5 months.
Thank you.
You said 5 months?
Uh-huh.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
I've got two questions. On DMV revenue, that took a dramatic hit. What caused that?
I don't know, Charles, just a slow month. This month should be really busy because, April's been, or March was really busy.
And under expenses for legal counsel, consulting fees,
Yeah.
That's
was
2
that a
months.
2-month combination for that second item?
What's the total?
5,342.
That's 2 months.
It must be.
Do we have
And
the,
do you have a statement?
statement?
That's all right.
And, I don't see the $1,000 to the Board of Supervisors.
It was
Well,
approved, but
it
not
was approved.
distributed.
It's-
Yeah, it gets distributed
Okay.
to April.
I think you're trying to figure out what they were doing for that 250th
They
account.
didn't have an account created for it
Okay,
yet.
all right.
Question for you.
Mhm.
What is the slash through the totals on your invoices and,
If there's a strikeout, it means I just struck the charge.
okay, thank you.
A lot of times just simple phone calls and things I strike, but I kinda try to keep a record of what I'm doing. And
Sure.
I can charge for some of those things.
Thank you.
So both of these have been paid already, right?
Yes. Yeah, they're both paid in the month of March.
And the cost is a little higher than typical because of the zoning ordinance work that we've been doing with the planning commission, which is getting close to finishing.
I move we approve the March report as presented.
One more thing, sorry, before we get a second, on the same sheet, that, DMV paper allowance budgeted item also needs to be corrected. It just carried over another month, that green column.
No, but when you fix it on 1 month, it automatically fixes
Okay.
it on both of them.
Okay. Thank you. All right, is there a second?
Wait,
Sorry,
just one more
anything
thing.
else? Sure.
Yeah, adding that, the actual CD, is somebody get a calculator and what is the total when we add the correct amount for that CD? Could we get that?
One second. Just to verify, it's $30,016.52.
Yes. I'll email them a new copy tomorrow.
310-753.
That's okay.
Okay. Are you, actually I have to add the top two rows, sorry. Plus 1,500 plus 52,260.
I can send you a new one tomorrow, Deborah.
Alright.
Fix it and email everybody one.
So $484.47.
How many cents?
47.
Thank you. Okay, now are we at a second?
Is
Who
there any
was the
other
first?
discussion? The first was Charles. And
I'll
is-
second.
Deborah seconds. All in favor, say aye. Deborah?
Aye.
Nancy?
Aye.
Charles?
Aye.
Kim?
Aye.
Thank you. All right, our update from the Madison Board of Supervisors. Nancy, you ready for us?
Well, I think I am. I'm wondering if you're ready for me, and I don't know if you want me to do the 250 spiel now or at new business. I can do it all right now if you want.
Then go ahead.
You're ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. It's easier if I
Yeah,
come up here.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
fine.
And,
Thank you.
alright, you guys, I'm Nancy, I'm the liaison from the Board of Supervisors to the Town Council, so it's always exciting to be here, and I'm like, we got crowded room tonight, that's awesome, so, one of the things that as the Board of Supervisors that we're most excited about is that budget season is over. And, we do have on April 28th at 6 p.m. at the Board of Supervisors meeting, that's when the public is invited to come and hear what the final budget is. So, and if you can't come, you can always catch it online and see it then, and you can also comment through that, I think, is that right, Chuck? Yes, so, you know, let's all come together and see what's happening, right? Also, we're excited about the new businesses that are coming into the county. It seems like, so many things are real quiet and then you just see a big hustle but things are moving and, you know, just like we have the Amish outlet down here at the edge of town, which that building has been refurbished and I think there's still other businesses coming in there. I don't know. It looks like they're preparing for that, but anyway, that's exciting. And there's other things that are happening within the town, within the county, and, but as you all know, it's revenue is what we need for the town and for the county. And so, those are things that we all need your help on, your ideas, and hopefully we can work on bringing some of those things forward. And that's one thing that I've done here. Only have a few, I have these cards, and they're blank on this side, but on this side it has my card on the back of it. What I would like is for people to take these, put down your idea of what you would like to see in the town, in the county, of the revenue, different ideas that you have so that we can talk about that and see if we can push things forward, okay? I do wanna say
Sorry, it's a fly.
Oh, thank you for your $1,000 donation for our 250 celebration, and you know that it is gonna be on the library lawn like we had talked about before. And so, that is on July, those of you who don't know, will be on July 2nd at 5 o'clock on the library lawn will be our celebration as a county from 5 to 8:30. Now, there's still a lot of things that we have to be worked out, and we do have a very active committee doing that. Our next meeting is gonna be April 15th at 4 o'clock in the, board auditorium. So, any ideas, you wanna come and just hear, or you wanna volunteer to be on one of these committees, you're more than welcome.
Nancy, I've got a question.
Mhm.
Has the library board approved that activity for the
Yeah.
250? It's already approved it?
Yeah. Mhm. And I'm thinking that, are you questioning that, because I know you're on the board, but I'm on that,
I don't remember it coming up to the board at any point.
That was last month.
Did it come
We
up?
did.
Okay, I
Uh-huh.
apologize.
Yeah.
that's okay, cause I was like, okay, I missed something. I don't wanna miss
No,
that.
we did that last month.
Let's see. I guess the one thing that I need from the town is, and Cheryl knows this, and she's been working with Tracy as well, are the little flags.
Well, the
design.
only issue with it is, I know y'all wanted bigger ones, the only ones that we can put up there because of REC and because of the flag holders we have are the same size that we had before, that y'all said were so little that you really couldn't see them well, the ones from Plow and Hearth we had. So it's either that size or we can't put them on the poles.
Let's figure it out.
Well, that's why I said I'd get with you tomorrow.
Mhm.
I hadn't had a chance this week, but I'll get with you and we can decide because it has to be that size or it won't fit up there.
Okay,
So can we not put flags like we used to have, like the bigger ones up anymore?
Oh.
Or do they take those brackets down?
Well, they have brackets up there, but they're the brackets for those small flags that y'all had. And we're missing 20, so we'd have to buy 20 of them. But my understanding, that's the only one we have.
If you're talking like that, you're not
Mhm.
talking like this. Cause the first ones that,
Yeah, whatever the ones
I'm
y'all had,
thinking
you know, they're like this tall or, and
that's
this
what we
wide
need
or
to
something.
figure out, because we wanna be able to see them.
Right.
We want everybody else driving down the street to see them and love them, right?
Mooney just found the missing brackets today.
Oh,
So we can order those, but I wanted to get with you before we did anything to see.
I appreciate
Can
that.
we, we'll come, go ahead.
So, I was gonna switch over here for just a second, so does anybody have any questions? You all need to know that you're invited to the Board of Supervisors meetings at any given time that we're having a meeting. So, but no questions on that? Okay, so I talked to you about the revenue ideas that we're all in this together with, but now I'm gonna switch gears and talk about the Virginia 250, which I had spoke of a little bit. These are our new bumper stickers that have just come out. And I have some of these tonight for those people who would like to have one. And also, these are our new signs that have been, designed by Lornians, and these are like a yard sign. You can put them in different places. The businesses have already started coming and getting them. What we were hoping to do is, you know, we've got about, 10, 11 days before those, vote no signs come down. And let's get these up. So we get those signs down, let's get these up, okay? And these are over at the chamber, and you can pick these up over there as well. And, so are these, but I have a few to hand out tonight if you would like. And I think that's it. Any questions? We're still planning, and we've got a lot of different committees, so that's why coming to that meeting helps, because if there's something you're interested in doing, we can plug you right in on that. Okay?
thank
All right.
you.
Thank you.
Next, we have, public comments, open floor. Is there anyone that would like to comment?
I do. So I have a statement that I wanna read to the council, please. And it's a rebuttal to the mayor's conduct and her public statements from last month's meeting. I'm writing to formally respond to the mayor's public remarks made during the most recent council meeting, which were entered into the official record. These statements were not only inaccurate, but also professional, retaliatory, and personally damaging. I have remained silent in previous instances out of respect for the office and the decorum expected in public service. However, the mayor's continued behavior now requires a formal response. During the meeting, the mayor reprimanded me for allegedly failing to provide council members with read-ahead packets prior to the agenda being approved. This accusation is both misleading and legally incorrect. Under the Virginia Code 2.2-3707, The only requirement is that the meeting notices be posted at least 3 days in advance. In practice, I post these notices a full month in advance. There's no statutory obligation for the town administrator to distribute packets prior to the agenda approval, and the mayor's assertion to the contrary misrepresents both the law and my conduct. Don't worry, I have handouts for all of you stating that. Furthermore, the mayor's decision to speak about my actions before the agenda was approved and to do so in a public forum constitutes a breach of procedural norms and a violation of confidentiality. Her remarks were entered into the record despite being based on false premises. This is not the first time the mayor has acted inappropriately. During several closed sessions in the past 15 months, her patterns of behavior continue. Despite having multiple closed sessions over the past 15 months, her patterns of behavior continue. They reflect a persistent disregard for professional standards and ethical boundaries. Beyond procedural violations, I must also address how the mayor's conduct has taken a personal toll. Her repeated public criticisms, verbal attacks, and belittling remarks have created a hostile work environment. I have experienced harassment, retaliation, and defamation of both my personal and professional character. These actions have affected not only my ability to perform my duties, but also my well-being in a small town community where reputational harm causes lasting consequences. Owing to the ongoing nature of these attacks and toxic communication directed toward me, I have retained legal counsel to protect my rights and professional standing. This step was not taken lightly, but it has become necessary given the mayor's continued pattern of inappropriate and damaging behavior. I remain committed to serving the town with professionalism, integrity, and respect for the law. I ask that the council acknowledge the seriousness of this matter and take appropriate steps to ensure that the future meetings uphold the standards of decorum and legality that our residents deserve. In light of the noted behavior, I also request that the council direct the mayor to issue a public apology, and which I believe is necessary. You have something to say? I can stop. Okay. In light of the noted behavior, I also request that the council direct the mayor to issue a public apology, which I believe is necessary to restore trust and reinforce our shared commitment to respectful governance. In this packet that I'm going to hand you all, this is the statement so you can make sure you quote it the way I say. Here is a letter from Maynard here. Everybody's packet is the same, saying that she's very incorrect on what she's doing, what she said, and the legal law. The next paper is what she passed out to us last month. It's gonna be officially part of the minutes, because this is gonna be officially part of the minutes also. This is the Virginia Code here, and I made a copy for everybody to read the whole thing. The notice shall be posted at least 3 working days prior to the meeting. The only thing that has to be posted up 3 days before that meeting is the notice of when, where, and what time. Nowhere does an agenda or a packet have to be handed out. The only time an agenda has to be passed out is if that agenda is put on the board, or if it's put on the website beforehand. When one place gets it, everybody gets it. So I'm happy to answer any questions, but I will not tolerate this anymore. Just like we wanted to cancel the meeting here tonight because I didn't give a agenda. What has the agenda got to do with anything? And if there's something you want to know about the agenda, just ask. But I'm not working like this anymore. So tonight is the night to get it in the open, because I have legal counsel and I will not work like this again. It's gone on. This is going into the 16th month, and it keeps getting worse every time. And to send me something to tell me that I need to cancel the meeting or have the meeting redone because I give a packet out, but I didn't give an agenda. Please be sure, and I'll put your Virginia code here on the very top so you can read that. And if you have questions, refer to legals, Maynard's Legals Policy, and the 2 pieces on the back that are private from closed sessions. Be sure you hand those in to me before. I know you've seen them, but make sure that that private stuff comes back to me before you leave here. But take time to read over it and look over it while we're all here. And let us answer the questions now. And let's see, somebody show me where it says I'm breaking the law and not handing out the correct paperwork.
So I was planning on passing the memo out to you that I've issued to the council during my report, which is fine that it's out there now. This is the public comment period. She spoke as her herself. So you may want to conclude that comment period before you take this up if you wish to take this up. I mean,
But am I correct in what I said?
This is a time for public comments. Council,
let's conclude that.
is there any other public comments? So as a presiding officer, I encourage the council to read through this, and we can add it to the agenda, have the agenda amended, or we can table it for next month, however you all would like to proceed. But at this time, the public comments is closed, and we will move forward with business.
Can we go to this? You're closing out the public part,
Sure.
right? But the council part is still open?
Sure, I mean, what, so according, if you, we've already approved the agenda. You would have to make a motion to add a new agenda item to review this, and have discussion today. Or we can postpone and have it for next month.
I would address, I planned in the town attorney report to address my memo, so I can do that at that time. And, you also have new business if you want to take it up at the end.
So I can bring this back up later during the
You
agenda.
could amend the agenda, I guess, to make a motion to add it, but, yeah, or you could just kind of wait for the new business at the end.
Okay, I'll do it new business.
So, so we're gonna, just address it in new business, okay? Okay, under business, we have the fireman's parade request. I already have that. Yeah, that was in the packet, you already, I think, was that?
Yeah, that was it.
This is the,
Oh, yeah, this
Tracy
is Tracy, that's all right, I'll finish passing them out.
yeah.
I got one.
I forgot.
Oh, Tracy, okay. I move we honor the fireman's request.
I second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. The planning commission requests a joint public hearing for May 14th, 2026.
Yeah.
We had the meeting on March 24th. We have made a request, planning commission has made a request to have a joint public hearing on May 14th, 2026 with the town council in regards to, excuse me, boundary line adjustment and special use permit for Sona Trading, which is 308, 312, and 316 Main Street and 108 Washington Street. Excuse me. And this has to do with the cooperative parking, within that,
Yes.
those addresses.
Basically, it's been under one ownership for as long as I guess people can really remember here. they are looking to change some of the boundary lines of the parcels. There's 4 lots. And they will, in order to provide sufficient parking to meet the needs under the zoning ordinance for each business in that complex, which is 4 separate properties, they need to, the best thing for them to do is a cooperative parking. And the zoning ordinance says that you allow cooperative parking in town where the business can share parking, but it has to be approved by council as a special use permit. So, I've spoke to the surveyor again since the planning commission meeting, and, you know, we expect to have the plan returned, so it will be discussed in detail at the next planning commission meeting before they come to the public hearing.
And then we also approved revisions to our bylaws, planning commission bylaws, and then we had a review of, the zoning ordinance regarding landscaping and screening. So we did a review of that, and, we're moving forward.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but is all of that included for the joint public hearing?
No, we're going to the
She
other.
jumped into the
Okay,
report.
Jumped into the next
so I need
report,
to-
sorry.
I need to pause there, I'm
Yep.
sorry. So you all request a public, a joint public
That's good.
hearing
Yep.
on the 14th. Are you all, we just need to approve that and get that on the calendar. So all in favor,
Is that April 14th?
I'm sorry, May
May
14th,
14th.
at our regular meeting.
And as usual, you have that at the beginning of the meeting with the planning commission jointly, then they hold their meeting at the, you know, simultaneous with yours for the public hearing.
So we need to get a motion to accept the joint public hearing, in a second.
I make a motion to accept the joint public hearing
I
for
said,
May.
Is that at our regular meeting?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I assume it's gonna be 5 o'clock or regular time?
We'll just do
Regular.
regular time,
6
6 o'clock. It usually takes 5-10 minutes, not too long.
Okay.
Okay, all in favor, say aye. Deborah,
Aye.
Nancy,
Aye.
Charles,
Aye.
Kim. Thank you. Motion carries. We will see the planning commission on the 14th. Thank you all.
Can I ask a question here? At what time will that be, and will that be at the board auditorium?
No, that is here,
Here,
and that's
okay.
is standard time,
Okay.
at 6
o'clock,
p.m.
yeah,
Yes,
okay,
ma'am.
got it.
All right, next on the agenda, it's amended, it was the VML training. I have been in touch with, Michelle Dowdy, the executive, what is her title? Just escaped me. She handles all of the legal and, part of Virginia Municipal League, and is one of the writers of the book, our handbook. And in discussion with her, she has offered, for us to do training, to help resolve some of the matters and issues that Cheryl brought to light today. And she is proposing, a quick like lunch and learn, about an hour or two for us to go through a few things from the Virginia Municipal League that they would like to present to help, resolve some of these issues and give, clarity and legal advice, openly for everybody. And those 2 dates to select from would be April 27th and 28th. They are a Monday or a Tuesday. They would be daytime, if we could make that happen. If not, we could suggest an evening time. Sadly, as we were in this discussion, her father was in a tragic accident and is still hospitalized, and she's asked for a week before she could communicate again, to take care of matters with her father. So I don't have exactly time, but I would like for us to consider those trainings for the 27th or the 28th, if we can make that happen, please.
I had a knee surgery, so I won't be able to attend.
Okay,
I'm in Florida on the 27th,
okay.
and the 28th, I have a MDPI at the trauma center, so won't be able to
So
be
if
there.
I were, would you all be in favor of first giving us, different dates? Or would you be open to training from the Virginia Municipal League directly?
Now, what kind of training are we getting from this?
She wanted to, approach some of the concerns that Cheryl had in the behaviors, the titles, the who does what, how it's done, things that I've tried to point out in that handbook when I ensured that everyone had one. Just to clarify some of the things that have happened in the last 15 months, to just do more of a hands-on. There has been a lot of, I don't know if you guys are aware of what's happened over in the town of Louisa, Mineral, excuse me, but there's been quite the drama over there, and with that, they have also reached out to them, have done some training about what council members can do, what the mayor can do, how to handle situations or different dynamics. And so they are going on a mission to inform and educate new council members, new mayors, new everyone, just to be thorough and to offer training more hands-on, and a time for us just to maybe connect and rebuild a few things.
Don't we already know who has what responsibility and who is supposed to carry them out? Haven't we not established that with our regulations?
Yes, but there are
And
some,
the titles we did when we were doing the job description.
right, and there's other things that she wants to dig on, and I don't have her words. She didn't give me a printout. She just heavily suggested that we take an opportunity to look at this from a different perspective and consider training.
So did you contact her or she contact you?
I did reach out to her for advice and what to do in a situation.
Is that for the town council?
It was a situation in-house of what to do with this situation, of how to hold decorum in a hostile environment and what to do in these matters. I had some questions from after reading.
Would that be something you should have asked us?
No, ma'am.
I'm not interested, I'm not doing it.
Jennifer, I don't wanna be rude,
Mhm.
but I think you're gonna take this as rudeness, and I don't mean it that way.
Okay, fair enough.
I don't see a need for the body sitting here attending a training session you just described.
Okay.
I do, and this is where the rudeness is, and I don't want to be rude, I think that would help you tremendously.
Okay. I
And
agree,
if you
because
like, I would be more than to make a motion that we pay for your funding to go to that, whatever. But I think,
Sure.
right now, as Cheryl indicated, the problem this council is having for the last 15 months goes in one direction.
I reached out for questions to better the environment and for us to have a better governance. I have never been mayor before. There is a lot to learn.
Yeah.
And it was not in an attack of anyone, it is to find resolution. And it was offered and suggested that we all have common ground and do this collectively. And all I can do is present it. If you don't want to, that is your desire. That's your will. It is just an offer that I am trying to find remedy for this council.
I think you can find those remedies within the council, if you look for them. I don't think you need training to get those remedies.
Okay. Anyone else?
I tend to agree with Charles and not be ugly about it, but we've been on this council a long time. I just don't feel like that we have to do the training.
Okay. So Deborah and Kim, would you be interested?
At this point, I've got a lot going on at work. I would have to see what's, I can't commit to anything outside of what's going on right now.
Understood. I'm just trying to gauge if I need to ask her for different dates, perhaps in May or June.
I think we gotta just table it.
Okay,
I don't think that the
Sure.
council is ready for this.
okay, thank you. Thank you all for the moment, the time. All right, next on our agenda is the Planning Commission Liaison Report, please.
Cause I just gave you that.
Okay, I didn't know if you had any more, so.
Yeah, I just gave you that, and I'm sorry, I ran down through there pretty quickly. We did approve our bylaws, which we had talked about at the table here previously, so we approved those, minor changes been made to that. And then, with our zoning ordinance review, like he said, we're getting towards the end of this, which is, happiness.
Closing in.
Happiness. So we went through landscaping and screening, which, it goes along with our, relaunch, with the protecting our environment and promoting the beautification. So quite a bit of this was in there following that.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna interrupt you.
Sure.
Landscaping and screening as a zoning ordinance,
Mhm.
or?
Yes,
Okay,
yeah,
so that you're
'cause-
gonna require landscaping and screening?
So there are some grandfathering, but what we're looking at is, say, for example, somebody wants to gravel their whole front yard. That's gonna be in here going, that's a no-go. So it's, just basically going through, you know, if you've got new build, so to speak, what is it that is appropriate and what's not, to go with our beautification, going with our relaunch 2030, with that, so following along with those
Okay.
processes.
Kinda like if you put, when the dollar store comes,
Yeah.
they have to have certain
Certain.
amount, and it
Right,
has to be what the, site plan
plan,
says.
right,
So
okay.
they removed theirs, but we sent them a letter, they have to put theirs back how it was, or give us a request to be able to change it.
Okay.
Or if you decide you wanna gravel your whole front yard, we're gonna get
I
Deborah.
promise, I'm not gonna do
Deborah.
that. All of the yard work and plantings we've done, no, we're not
We
doing.
won't have that little.
I know, I have to have my mower out there.
I love your mower. I want one so bad.
To be clear, the existing ordinance already has some
Yeah.
requirements in it. And we discussed making a new section, so it's, the requirements are clearer in one
Okay.
section.
Okay.
They're often associated with the site plan or with the parking lot.
So separately.
Okay.
Okay, moving forward, our report from town administrator.
One of the big concerns that I need to, make the group aware of is when I send out emails to the group, you are not to respond to them for the 20th time. It has to be an individual. When we respond to a group email, it's considered a meeting, and we haven't advertised that. So please stop responding to the group emails. If you have a concern, please send it, like we've talked about before, send it to me and not my employees. We had a DMV audit on Tuesday, went great. The dollar store debris, we've sent out the letter and things to them, and I did go look, there's very little out there, but what is out there, they're gonna take care of and things. We're working on the snow, what is it called, RF, what is it?
Scope of
work.
Scope of work, yes, we're working on that. The CD we've already talked about, and hopefully auto decals will go out next week. And that's really all we've had,
Yeah,
we
they're-
just have too much training going on.
I was gonna say, they're later this year than, cause usually don't you do it before April?
We do it in March,
Right.
and they're due the end, or do it at the end of February and they're due March, but I've been in DMV so much,
Right.
we just haven't had time to do it.
So they're gonna be due when?
Whatever we pick the date, end of
Okay.
May or whatever, but it'd be this
Okay.
fiscal year.
Okay.
People will have the same timeframe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep,
So, I'm sorry, after the snow scope of work, you quickly mentioned two
the
last
CD
items.
we already
The
talked
CD,
about,
that's what it was, and then the personal property,
auto
taxes.
decals,
Mhm. Oh,
we don't do personal property.
and you said that'll go out next week, you said?
I hope next week, if not the week after.
So that would be, yeah, so revenue would be in May too.
No, we probably won't see the revenue for that until June, right?
Yeah, but, we got till
we
June.
got it.
Okay, alright, next is our town attorney report.
All right, I usually don't have too much to say, but this time I did prepare a memo for you, which has been just passed out, and the memo dated April 9th. Since the point was raised at the last meeting, I just re-reviewed the Freedom of Information Act. My memo shows that, there is no requirement for deliverance of materials prior to the meeting. But they do have to be available to the public as a whole whenever they are delivered to council members. And there's no requirement to have an agenda distributed in advance of the meeting. Again, any material like that that's delivered to you as a body needs to be made available to the public at the same time. And I just note that sometimes things are even handed out in the meeting as we give our reports. And of course, a copy of them is always available to the public to review. Cheryl always has, I spoke with her, she always has a copy of the packet materials available for the public if they ask to see it. And the requirement is to have one available for public inspection at the time the documents are furnished to the members of the public body. So I just wanted to kind of clarify the point that came up at the last meeting, that I think we are in compliance, and I double checked that. And I thought I ought to put it in writing for you all.
Thank you.
Next is new business. Before we get to Cheryl's complaint or concerns, is there any other new business?
Tracy's, report is what I handed out just a few minutes ago. That's just for your information.
I have some, a new request from, a couple people regarding the speeding that's going on in town. Is there a way the town council can ask the sheriff's department to maybe patrol, Main Street? Cause it is getting excessive. And I myself am complaining, but other people are as well. So I would like to know if that would be something that's town council or is in agreement for all of us that live right on Main Street.
If council wishes, we can put a written request, a letter to the sheriff requesting that they do some enforcement.
Yeah.
I would like that.
That
Yeah.
or the state police?
Well, I think we should go with the sheriff first, cause I mean, the guys are always around.
They were
but-
at it last night again.
I
I
saw
don't know if
them-
you're
I saw
in, but
them.
my end was real bad last night.
Yeah.
I've
so-
seen them up at the Methodist church sitting there, and where else? I saw them somewhere else sitting.
They do, the deputies do it occasionally, but it's not consistent, but it is nice when I see the lights go on and they're
Yeah.
going down the road and that's
They
nice.
sit in the
but-
parking lot across from my house or next to Jim's where his little side thing is. And it looks like a regular car sitting there,
Yeah.
so it's like, hey.
But the tractor trailers are
Yeah,
getting
yeah,
worse
they're
than probably the cars are, but it is ridiculous.
You think the trailers are speeding too?
Absolutely.
I know that they're
Absolutely.
speeding.
I've
almost been
It's,
Yeah.
and I'm back at, I'll be on my tangent because right there at Washington Street and everything, they've gotten to where they're taking up both lanes, they're blowing the horns and cussing at people that are waiting to turn appropriately, forcing them to back up on Main Street. Then we've had a couple that can't turn, so they get kinda hung up and they've tried going across to where, the Pearl Building is, they get stuck back there. So it's been, yeah, it's a show, we can sit on the front
It
porch
is.
and watch it.
I can almost time some of the
Yeah.
cars coming and trucks coming through. It's just,
3:30,
yeah.
there's one that comes through about 90 miles an hour.
Yeah, there's one at 8:30, 8:45 also, no, night.
It's bad.
Okay.
Does council wanna make a motion or just to direct staff? You can just give staff direction.
There's
Send
no,
a
yeah,
letter.
Yeah.
there's no
Yeah.
motion
Yeah.
needed for that,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's fine.
Alright, you all asked to have, to address Cheryl's concerns, her comments in public comment area. I will let you all discuss.
Well, my question, you interpreted document 2.2-3707 as your reasoning for your approach to her and for not having the meeting tonight to postpone it until next week, right? Now, what in that document that we have in front of us made you make those deductions?
So in the policy that we had created early in, when we started this, we had all agreed in, during the orientation, that we would have, agendas presented and they would be out 3 days prior along, with the meeting. And so therefore, since we've all been doing this, we've all been expecting a document package that Cheryl delivers to our homes or gets to us. This time it's been by, some of it's been by email, which has been different, which is fine. That the packet needed to be available, and when the packet's made available, it would have an agenda, and that comes also from Robert's Rules. The code 2.2-307 references that the meeting has to be held notified 3 days in advance, and I had read G, section G, which Maynard commented on in his writing, that if something is made public to the council, then we too would have to have that made public, well, from us and to the public. So with that, I did not see an agenda. With Robert's Rules and the past policies that we've always had in having an agenda, it is common practice. I too have retained legal assistance to help oversee this, and I did talk to him about this, and he said, while I was right to acknowledge it, that we did not have these documents 3 days in advance, to notify that we are making decisions same day of, that we are doing a disservice to the public because we do represent the public, that it is something that we need to have. He did advise me that I too was in the wrong for doing it at the timing of the agenda, and that it should have been, I should have made an allocation to amend the agenda to have that comment. However, I am not wrong in stating that because we did have an agreement of policy to have agenda and information back in our January, February-ish meeting with those orientations. And that we were trying to have agendas out, if not a week prior, but no more than 3 days prior. Nowhere in my statement was I trying to attack Cheryl. That has never been my concern. I trust that she's doing her job. What is a concern to me is that we do not have proper time to prepare, to review documents, that we do not have transparency with our citizens because there is no agenda. The documents that are presented in, whether it's new business or in the town administrator's report or the planning commission report, all of that should be transparent and given 3 days prior by proper policy and by courtesy. So I am wrong in saying that it must be 3 days in advance. I learned that talking to my counsel. And I apologize that I never threatened anyone's job. I just was trying to be lawfully correct in that it has to be public, and it was not. And so trying to do things better, I'm still going to make mistakes. However, there does need to be some accountability to this council and staff that we do things appropriately and have these documents properly prepared in a timely fashion, and 3 days is a timely fashion. So I would like to present a formal policy instead of our verbal policy that we discussed in that orientation to minimize this distraction moving forward, because it is only fair for the rest of us and the citizens to know what these meetings are about.
So what are you proposing?
Well, honestly, when I first started my mayorship, I was excited to help and look over the agenda, and I had requested Cheryl to send it to me, and there was some tension there, and I took time to understand what that was about. I would like for us to please email Cheryl any of our concerns throughout the month, but definitely by the Wednesday week prior to the meeting.
Our deadline is the Thursday, like it has been
Okay,
since
then-
you took office
okay.
before the meeting.
All right, so then Thursday, so that way an agenda can be produced and sent out that Thursday for review, changes if we need to by Friday, and that way by Friday afternoon, she has formal documentation that can be put online that meets the 3-day criteria, which would be 5 p.m. Monday. So that way it is out there 3 days prior to the meeting for public and anyone else to have access to that. And that goes in alignment with what we had before. I just would like to see that carried out on a regular, consistent basis.
Yeah, I can appreciate what you're saying there. I've got 2 questions. First one's not a question. When you made your concerns public, you referred to a state document. You did not refer to our policy.
Absolutely. Right
Okay.
here it says mandated by Virginia code and has the code
So
number.
you referred to that document. The other item I've got, knowing the turnover here in DMV, knowing what Cheryl is going through daily to get things done, because I know last night before last, it was 9 o'clock when she brought my packet. She didn't go home and bring the packets back.
But then I got critiqued because I took it at 8:30-ish
Yeah,
that night.
yeah.
It was not a critique. It
But-
was a statement. I received it because my son got the door and said you came around 8:35ish when you rang the doorbell. I was acknowledging that you had dropped it off. It's not a critique.
I do wanna state that in this paper where it said I prevented the public's ability to participate meaningfully, I will be here 5 years in July, and 0 people have ever asked to come in and see one document, ever. Chuck has come in many times and asked me a question about something, but has never asked to see a piece of paper, anything. So I pretty much think that I have not been, hampering the public's ability to get anything from these. And like you said, I work on the weekends, I work at night. I have been in DMV 3 out of 5 days, 4 out of 5 days. I'm doing all I can do unless you're gonna give us more help until we get the people trained. So at this point, I'm glad you got both Februarys and Marches when you did. Because if I had not worked till 9 o'clock 2 nights to get that done, you wouldn't have got them.
Well, Cheryl, let me make it very clear that I do not doubt your capabilities or the work that you do. I do not doubt that you are doing everything possible. But you could communicate if the document's not going to be present, if we decide to move forward. Just communicating with us, because we don't know what's going on in here on the daily.
Well, and I would appreciate you, if you didn't get one, not to call Deborah, Nancy, Charles, Kim, and every person on the board and say, did you get one and did I get missed? Why wouldn't you just email me and say?
So I did email you directly first, and I included everyone in there, so if they had missed their agenda, then they would all understand and hear from you in the response, and it solved it. The email was not hasty or mean, it
I'm
was
not talking about this
asking-
time, I'm talking about a packet in general.
Right,
Nobody is gonna leave anything out of your packet, I'm not crazy. Everybody's packet is the same. I'm not intentionally gonna take something out of Deborah's or Nancy's
And
and give it to the other 3 people.
I've never implied that.
I think you did in your email. You
No,
asked,
was it intentional to not include an agenda for the
but
meeting?
you just said.
And it was intentional, cause not in meaning and like, I intentionally am leaving it out so no one knows what's going on. It was more of intentionally, I can't get to it because other things are going on.
but
No,
you
and I
just
have to
lifted
get
it
with Maynard.
intentional. I mean, if I was reading that, it was like, did she leave it out?
Intentionally, was it not in
Did
there
she begin
because
it, or
there's
did she
things
leave it
still being
inten-
worked
that was-
on?
Did she mean not to put it? I mean, it didn't bother me that I didn't get an agenda. It doesn't bother me that I don't get a packet.
Well, let me
you know,
state for
I get
future
it.
purposes, if you do not have an agenda or something in your packet, there's a reason why you don't have it, and you'll get it at the meeting.
At least by the meeting.
Yes. If I can get it out sooner, I will.
And just kind of rehashing here, but, you know, when you presented this the last time, you said we were, you know, unlawful, we were doing something that was not lawful. And when you called me the other night, just to see if we could change this, you felt like that we were being
unlawful.
violated in the law.
Yes.
I stated to you then, if you remember, I cannot imagine Cheryl would be doing something that would be unlawful. So, no, that's, you know, I mean, I would never question her. And I don't know, I mean, she's doing all she can do.
I would recommend at this point, we have sat here and exposed our soul to the public.
Yeah.
Okay? And we've done that. I would suggest if there's any continuation of this discussion, it be done in closed session at the next meeting.
I agree.
I agree.
Okay.
Well, I do wanna state that my papers are going to be part of the minutes here, and I do wanna state under new business on the record here that this is going to be addressed. At this point, whether it's closed session or whatever, it's going to be addressed. I'm not letting it go.
I agree. And we've addressed it enough
Yes,
tonight.
thank you.
And if we need more addressing, it should be done in private.
So
I
would you
make that
want-
as a motion,
Is that what you want?
Yes,
Do you
please.
wanna schedule it now?
Schedule it,
Put it on the
I-
agenda?
yes.
I would assume it's gonna be part of the next meeting, if you're gonna go closed session on a
Yeah.
regular
Oh, yeah,
meeting.
we'll
Yes.
just put it on the agenda.
Yeah,
We don't
on
always
the
list,
agenda for the next meeting.
we don't always list a closed session on the agenda
Put it
unless we
on
have
the-
an
Yes.
anticipated need for one.
This is standing together, right? Yeah, okay.
One more statement, about the agenda. It does help me prepare for what's to come and how to handle and, preside over the meetings. So please keep it as a common courtesy. It would help me as well to do a better job if I have it in advance. It does help. All right, so we will identify this in another meeting. Is there any other new business? Oh, before I ask that, I do wanna ask, would you all care to create a policy, a formal written policy, or an agreement of how to minimize this by going back to the Thursday prior to a meeting and having documents prepared and distributed?
No, because we don't know her schedule. I mean, you know, she may try to get it done, but she's got other work that's gotta be done as well. I mean, I've been on this council a long time, and we've had meetings without having our packet within the 3 days.
When I came, there was 13 months worth of minutes that weren't done.
Just trying to do things to the best that I can. All right, well, any other new business? Okay. Can I get a motion to adjourn the meeting then?
I so move.
Okay, is
I
there a
second.
second? All in favor, say aye.
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 We'll see you next